Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to go through what it could look like to budget a £71,000 yearly salary in the UK. Now of course this is an above average salary, in fact it's almost double what the average salary is in the UK, if not a bit more. However, I have done other budgeting videos on how I would budget at 21,000, 31,000, 41,000, 51,000, 61,000, and now today is £71,000 per year. So if you are more interested in other salaries, then you can check out those videos in my budgeting playlist, but this is the salary that we're going to look at today. So the assumption on this salary is that this is just a household income, £71,000 per year, one salary, and this person is going to be contributing 10% towards their pension. Ideally, with this higher salary, it would be good to contribute more, but as I was working through this budget, I was actually quite surprised how tight things seem to be. So I'll go through and talk through how I've budgeted it all up and why I actually found it a bit tight. So with this budgeting spreadsheet at the top, we have the income. So as I said, we're just going to assume this is one income in a household, and that is equivalent to £3,830 per month. That's after taxes and that's after the pension contribution. So that's how much net should be hitting this person's account. These categories here automatically calculate, so we don't need to touch these, but they basically show what the total expenses are in pounds per category, and then it shows the percentages per category. So let's start with needs, and the first topic or the first category is household bills. So mortgage, rent. I looked up averages in the UK for all of these numbers. So the average mortgage or the average rent price were around the same in the UK for 2022, and that was around £753 per month. Council tax, it was hard to find the averages on this because of course it depends on the band that you're in. So I've put £160 for this, which is kind of standard for most houses in the UK. Now for utilities, again, this was the average, £182 per month, which seems really low to me for 2022. My household is almost double that, actually, the way things stand right now. So that seemed low to me, but apparently this is the average, so that is what I've put in. I'd be curious to know if this is anywhere near what you spend, or a lot more, a lot less. Just curious if it's just me, just my household that spends quite a bit more now on utilities. This is probably what it looked like for us about a year and a half ago, but it definitely doesn't look like that today. Broadband and TV on average is around £40 per month, and TV licence is the same across the UK, which is like £13 and some change, so I've rounded that up to £14. So household bills comes to a nice 30% of total expenses, which is the sweet spot really in terms of what proportion of your income this should take. 30% is a healthy amount. Now for groceries and food, the average apparently in the UK for groceries is £320 per month for a household of 2 people. That seems personally quite high for me. My husband and I spend around £250 per month currently, so that seems a bit high for me, but apparently this is the average. Restaurant takeaway, apparently, again, £120 or £119, I think it said, was the average for a UK household of 2, so that's what I've put in there. And the work lunches, I've put in £100 a month, which is equivalent to £25 a week. So groceries and food is 14% of this budget, which again is a pretty good amount. I like 10% on this, but I think people spend generally about 15% of their income towards groceries and food, so that's not looking too bad. Now for transport, this was really hard to find averages, so I've just put in £200 a month for fuel, assuming this person has a car, £5 a month towards road tax, which would be £60 a year for road tax. Same for MOT, £60 a year. This is assuming this is a one car household, and then £200 a month for public transport. Obviously, it really depends on where you live, how far you're commuting, but I've just put in a rough amount to bring it to 11% of this household's income. 10% is a good amount, so 11% is not too far off. Now for insurances, apparently the UK average for car insurance is £470 per year, and that was in 2022, so I've put £40 a month for this. For house insurance, apparently the average in the UK is around £28 per month, so I've rounded that up to £30 per month. And then life insurance, the average is around £31 per month, so I've rounded that up to £32. And then mobile insurance, I don't think £15 per month is pretty good, because there are loads of deals nowadays that you can get mobile insurance with maybe your bank for like £12 a month. So I've put £15, which should be a healthy amount to cover mobiles. So that is equivalent to 3% per month. And again, I like to keep this as low as possible. In our household, I think it's probably around 1 or 2%, but 3% is a good amount. Now for fun and subscriptions, this is where I've stopped using averages now for wants and financial goals, and I've kind of just broken up the budget of what's left. So I've put £200 per month for fun money, which would be £100 per person. I personally think this is a little tight on a £71,000 salary. However, this is pretty much all that the budget could afford. A mobile phone plan, I've put £20 per month, assuming that the mobiles are paid off, but you're just paying £10 per month per phone. There are lots of good deals now that you can get that, but again, this is assuming that you're not paying per month for an iPhone, for instance. Clothing, I put £30 per month, so that's £15 per month per person. In our household, we don't spend on clothes every month, so this would be something that accumulates. I don't know what the average is for this, so this may be low if you're someone who buys a lot of clothes, but if you're not somebody who buys clothes often, then this may look a bit high for you. Self-care, I put £75 per month. Again, this is for 2 people. Gym membership, I put £20 per month, and in fact, actually, that's a bit low. It's normally £20 per person, so that needs to go up to £40. But now that brings me to not a £0. That makes it not a zero-based budget. I'm minus 20. So I'd have to subtract 20 from somewhere else, and I'm going to subtract it from restaurant and takeaway and put that down to £100 instead. Now for Netflix, that's the standard £10 per month, and Spotify is £14 per month for like a family plan. So fun and subscriptions is a total of 10% per month, which I think is a perfect amount. That's where I like to aim for. So yeah, that's looking good. Now for giving, 5% of the budget goes towards this per month, so that's equivalent to £190. I think it's always good to make room for giving in your budget. So I have included this, even though things are looking a bit tight. But I think, if we can get into a habit of giving, it's just a good way to live your life. It's a healthy way, it's a positive way. And I think this just helps with that idea of value-based budgeting. If you value giving, if you value helping out in some way, then I think it is important to include this in your budget. So again, £190 is equivalent to 5%. Now for life events and sinking fund, I put £35 a month towards birthdays, £200 a month towards holidays, vacations, so that gives you around £2,400 per year towards that. And then Christmas, also £35 per month, and this is equivalent to 7% of this person's monthly budget. Now for debt repayments, it'd be great if this person didn't have debt, but we're going to assume that this person does, because most people in the UK do, and that's £100 per month to slashing off that credit card bill. Now for emergency investments and savings, I've put £75 per month towards an emergency fund. The goal is to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, so I'm just assuming that this person does have some emergency savings already, but they're just topping it up. And for investments, I've been able to put £550 per month towards investments. I would have liked this to be quite a bit higher for this salary, but unfortunately, with the average cost of everything, how it is right now, it just was not possible with this budget, which is really, really sad. But £550 is better than a kick in the teeth. and it does mean that this person is putting £625 per month towards investments and savings, which is equivalent to 16% of this person's budget. So it is a good amount. It would be great if this was more closer to 20%, but again, it just wasn't possible. And last but not least, for the other category, I've put £60 per month for household miscellaneous. I think this is just an important category to have. I at least find this helpful in our household to kind of have that extra money, because things always crop up every month of, oh, we forgot to buy this, or oh, we need to buy that. And I think £60 per month is kind of a good catch-all amount for this, and that is equivalent to 2% of this person's budget. So as you can see, 100% of the budget is accounted for, which is based on a zero-based budgeting method, which I think is the best way to budget. So that means all £3,830 is budgeted for. Yeah, I think with this budget, again, I was quite surprised how tight things were, that there wasn't more room for just fun and, you know, maybe a bit more towards holidays or birthdays or Christmas. However, this is how the numbers ran. So let me know what your thoughts are in terms of this salary, in terms of this budget. And yeah, I'd be curious to know if this looks anywhat similar to how you budget in your household. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.